Good evening, everybody on YouTube. This is Rick Thomas from Obsolete Video Services. Hey guys, today I just happened to get a shipment of videotapes from a customer. I guess it's man and wife. They both were in the television business, news, I believe, news industry for NBC, I believe. Anyways, this guy had a bunch of tapes, and I know he's a subscriber to my YouTube channel. And I just want to let him know I did receive the tapes. And kind of lucky today, actually, because I've been working on this Panasonic M2 deck for a customer. Still waiting to see if I can get a back panel for this thing so this thing could record. But anyways, we're actually using it tonight because he happened to have 5 studio recorded tapes on M2, which are 20 minutes long. This is part of their collection of tapes from working in television and what they did. We're making some ProRes tapes, or ProRes recordings, and we're making some MPEG-4 recordings. Some of this stuff I'll actually be able to post on YouTube. Some of it I will not be able to. He gave me permission to do that. This is all TV stuff that he did back when he was in broadcast television. We're making some ProRes files of these M2s, which is a crappy-ass format. But anyways, this is an M2 deck. This is one of the lousiest video formats ever made. As far as broadcast is concerned, but I got it to play color and playback really nice. It plays both size shells, the small and large. I'm waiting on some parts on this thing, and hopefully I'll be able to get it done soon for the customer. But it does work. This gives them a chance to see how well this deck actually plays. It does play. These are 20-minute tapes of work that these two television broadcasters, part of their little arsenal of stuff, from I don't know what channel it was. I didn't catch it. But anyways, a bunch of tapes here, broadcast tapes of M2s I'm doing for this customer. Him and his wife were in broadcasting for quite a while. But I got an awful lot of stuff from this guy. Of course, we've got 2 1-inch Type Cs, which are no problem to do. These were all 3/4 Urmatic, which we will work on. Which is not a big problem. Tomorrow I'll work on the Betacam SPs, which I have sitting here, which are all Betacam SP tapes. Now these are all broadcast tapes, guys, from the actual station. It looks like some stuff was in the 80s and 90s, I believe. Looks like there might be some cool stuff to actually post from this guy's collection. This is a man and wife that were in television broadcasting. They are very big fans of mine, and they subscribe to my YouTube channel, and they wanted me to do the job for them to get these tapes digitized to a ProRes file for so they could do stuff with it. But also I'll be able to have it in MPEG-4 so I can see if I can upload some of this stuff. But we're doing some professional transfers for these people because they were in television. And like I said, this is the first I've had in a couple months that I've had many different formats. And today was really lucky because he happened to have some M2 tapes in here. And I do happen to have an M2 deck that I'm actually repairing for a customer. So it gives me a chance to check out the tapes to see how well professional tapes look on this deck and how well they play. And they actually play very well, actually. Got the color and everything working on this thing real good. The playback of color on this M2 was all screwed up. But these M2 tapes were professionally done at a television station, so it gives me great guidance to how well this deck is going to play back when you're setting a M2 up. When you do repairs on a deck like this, it's hard to get the settings just right, but we did a really good job. Playback on this deck is very, very nice. But anyways, we're doing some M2s. I'm going to get these out of the way first. He's only got 5 of these, I believe, and these are just stuff that they did for the television broadcast channel when they were working there. I don't know if they were anchors or what their jobs entailed, but they were in broadcasting for quite a while. And so we are going to work on the M2 tapes now. I know he's watching, so he'll be pretty pleased to be able to see these. M2 is one of the biggest dog formats there is, and it's a very hard format to find, folks. There's not a lot of M2 decks out there. Most people do these in the dumpster. It was such a pathetic format. NBC couldn't stand this format. They ended up dumping all their stuff in the dumpster. So finding a working, playable M2 deck is not easy. But since I know how to repair them, that's not a big deal. It's just finding the decks to actually have an actual working one. But we ended up getting this one working in perfect playback mode, both shell sizes, small and large. And playback is really nice. I've been dying to see how well a really good broadcast color playback would look on these on this particular deck, and this gave me the opportunity to actually do it. But we're going to be working on some actual 3/4-o-matics. Those are a lot of small spot 3/4-o-matics, 10 minute, 30 minutes, 20 minutes, small shell type of recordings. I have no idea what's on those. And we have two 1-inch type Cs, which will be played on my big Sony Type C format, which is this one, which is what those were. Those are actual Type C spot reels. Got two of those. And but we'll actually do the Betacam SPs probably tomorrow or so when I get a moment. We'll get those all knocked out. And so I'm going to be recording from 4 actual different formats. 3/4-o-matic, 1-inch Type C, Betacam SP, and to top it all off, the worst of the worst, M2, which is the small shell M2 for the M2 Panasonic M2 deck, which is a disaster of a machine. But here at Obsolete Video Services, we seem to get this thing working really, really well. So we'll be able to get some good transfers of these as well. This is pretty cool. Actually, these tapes look pretty good. And got it going through time-based correction and everything else. And it looks like some of these were done in the 80s or 90s. And the signal is really, really good off of this M2. I mean, the quality of the broadcast they were recorded really, really well. So M2 is a really difficult format to transfer from, guys. But if you don't have broadcast recordings done in a television studio setting, you really don't have anything you could test the deck when you're servicing the deck. That's a must. You really, really do need M2 broadcast recordings from like the actual station, because at the time they had it properly set up with the time-based correction and everything else. So those recordings will be the best to use for an M2, for repairing an M2 deck, which is what I'm doing right now. I'm repairing this M2 for a customer, but this gives me a chance to really check it out with M2 broadcast tapes that were done at a television station. So hope you guys enjoyed this video.